I spent 6 months crying at night because I didn't know how to let go of my life, or begging to die, or it was
Who are you begging to when you were asking to die?
the ether, the universe, nature.
Yeah.
I often use like the analogy of like the sunlight coming through a dewdrop on a leaf in the morning. Like how unbelievably beautiful that just little moment and thing in this whole universe is.
Yes.
Like, how do you explain that?
Yeah.
What's behind that? It's not, I don't believe we're just ants on a rock.
Yeah.
Like there's something more to this entire universe. It's just hard for me not having grown up religious, and even quite the opposite. Like I was shunned from all religions. I can't be Jewish because my mom's not Jewish, but my dad is. I couldn't be Catholic because I was Jewish, and so Catholic school kicked me out while calling me a stupid Jew boy. Things like that. It was I was kicked out of every religion left and right.
Yeah.
So I never, I was kind of the San Francisco. My parents were hippies. I don't want to use the term, but I used to think of it as Sky Daddy. Like I didn't believe there was a guy sitting on a cloud in a big chair. It just didn't make sense to me. But I do use the word God now. And when I picture God, I just picture some like crazy picture of the universe of like energy and you know, it's everything around us.
Yeah. Well, I think it's interesting too, because it's like it's the same thing I said about saying I believe God has a plan. That literal word plan and what we think about is like it's our stupid brains being able to picture something, but it's so much bigger than that. And I feel the same about, God. I think one thing that's interesting, and honestly, I haven't actually read this. It is like, in the Bible, it's like you have the book of Revelations where people are just like, this is so weird. This is so out of seemingly context, like just totally different than everything else written. And it's like, well, that was supposed to be a glimpse into everything. And, to again think that like that experience is bringing back, trying to distill and put in these imperfect words. To me, that is sort of hinting at that same thing where it's like, you can't comprehend it. Can you accept and can you become a little bit comfortable with, I'm just not going to understand. And that's the thing that unlocked God for me.
Yeah.
I had a guy at an AA meeting they took us to in rehab who shared, and all he said is, I don't want a God I can understand. And oh,
that's interesting.
Yeah. And I sat there and I was like, I lost myself in thinking about it and just like really walked myself back through my life and realized that I had found myself in a spot where I was trying to box God in, and I was trying to make sure every single angle and every single aspect of it made sense.
The engineer in you must be like, no, this I have to be able to reverse engineer this concept.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And one thing, my experience growing up was different from yours, but one commonality, I think, well, I'm going to assume and then see what you have to say, but I was driven away from God, from religion, because of the evil and imperfections of humans and people that used religion for their own advantage. I looked at things that went on in the Catholic Church. I looked at the mega pastors who were flying around in jets, and I was like, how does no one see this? And I allowed, like, I straight up, I believe there's evil there. I do believe in like good and evil. Again, more than we can comprehend, but like put that out there. I believe in that. I believe some of the most evil will embed themselves into these religious structures. Like what way to manipulate, to take advantage. I let those people drive me completely away. So that that night after I heard that man share, I basically came back and I was kind of like, okay, God, this is between me and you now. And we're just going to go like one day at a time, but I'm going to contain it. Like, I'm not going to evangelize. I'm not going to I'm not going to look to use it for my advantage, but this is purely about our relationship now. And that, I mean, that did unlock it for me. And it's been a journey since then.